So we're gonna do some problems here. So first of all, state the next three terms of each geometric sequences. So first question, so you have a sequence that goes 4, -1, ... The first thing you have to do is find the ratio. Ratio is always this one divided by that. So it's gonna be -1/4. Okay, so a sub 3, a sub 4, a sub 5 here. So you have to multiply these two, then a sub, the third term, third term is gonna be +1/4. +1/4. To that, you times that again, so it's gonna be -1/16. To that, you multiply this one again, it'll be positive because it's negative, positive. 16 times 4 will be 1/64. So that's the answer, these three. The next one, we have -5 and 0, ... So the ratio is 0 divided by -5, which is 0. It's going to be 0. 0 times 0 is 0, 0, 0. So the next three terms is going to be 0, 0, 0. 3, you have 9, 6, ... So the ratio is going to be 6 divided by 9, which is 2/3. So the third term, the fourth term, the fifth term. Okay, let's see. This one times that. So times 6, you divide that, it'll be 2. So that's going to be 4. So 4, and then you times, to the 4, you times the ratio once again, it'll be 8/3. So this is 8/3. To that, you times a ratio again, it'll be 16/9. 16/9. So this is the answer for the third one. Answer for the second one. All right. So that is the question here. But yeah, let me get something. To erase this, and let's go to the second question. Let's see. Determine if this one is geometric. So the question goes, determine if it is a geometric or not. Well, let's find out. Ratio is 3 divided by 1 has to be 3. Okay, so then 5 divided by 3. The next one, 5 divided by 3 has to be 3, but it's not 3. So this is not geometry. Another question we have is 2, 3, 9/2, like 27/4, ... We want to know if this is geometric. So we divide 3 divided by 2. So that'll be 3/2. How about 9 divided by 3? So 9 divided by 3 is same thing as times 1/3, right? So you divide this, then 3. So, is it 3/2? Yes. Okay, but you cannot stop here because this might not be 3/2. So we have to go all the way. So 27/4 divided by 9/2 is the same thing as times 2/9, right? So this becomes 2, this becomes 3. Is that right? So it's 3/2. Yes, all of it is 3/2, 3/2, 3/2. So this is geometry. Okay, next question. The question says, write a recursive formula. Right? Recursive formula for each of the geometric sequence here. So the first one, number 1 is 9, -3, and 1. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is find let's write the formula for a recursive one. That means in terms of the one before. Okay, so in geometric, 1 before is a sub n-1 times what? You have to times r, right? Okay, so that is the formula. Okay, let us find the r first. It's -3/9. -3/9 r is -1/3. That is a ratio, right? So how do we find the nth term? What is an, right? And this is an-1 times r, which is -1/3. So that will be the answer. I'm pretty sure that is the answer. Okay. Where? Oh, this is not complete. Well, this doesn't look nice. So what we want to do is actually we want to write r first here. So let's write like that. Okay. So this will be r and a n minus 1. That's better. So this one will be negative 1 over 3, and then a n minus 1. That's times right here. And then you have to say where a1 is 9. So this will be the complete answer. Okay, let's do another one. So let's do another one. Still write the recursive formula. So the sequence is 1 over 4, 1 over 2, and 1. And let's see. We want to write, again, the formula. This will be a sub n minus 1 times r. Okay, times r. Let's see. What is the... let's find the ratio first. That's 1 over 2. This one, divide by that. Divide by 1/4 is same thing as times 4. It's, you have to flip it, right? So then this is 2. The ratio is 2. So an is 2 times n sub 1, a sub n minus 1, where the a1 is 1 over 4. So this is the complete answer. Okay, so hope you're getting hang of it. So now let's go to explicit formula. Let's find explicit formula. Explicit. Write the explicit formula when a1 is 2 and r is 5. Let's write the explicit formula. Remember, it's an is the first term, okay, in terms of first one, right? A1, or which is A, right? And then you times R, right? R, but this is n minus 1. This is the formula, right? So let's go ahead and write that. So an, this is 2, right? The first one, 2. And then R is 5. So 5, and then you write n minus 1. So this will be the answer. Pretty easy, right? Pretty easy. Okay, so let's look at the next one. The next one is 24. Oh, let's just erase this. Okay, we're gonna keep that right there. Okay, we're gonna keep this right there. Okay, the question is, sequence is 24, negative 18, and then 27 over 2, dot, dot, dot. The first thing we do is find the ratio. What is the ratio? Negative 18 over 24, divide by 6, it will be negative 3 over 4. Voila. Very good. So then an will equal an in terms of the first one, which is 24. And what is r? R is this one. So we're going to write that negative 3 over 4, right? And then n minus 1. Okay, so with this, we can find any terms. So here you have lots of terms. So you want to find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th one. Let's say you want to find a 8th, right? So then what do you do? You put 8 in place of n. You place 8 here, and then you could solve what the value of a 8th term is. Okay. Now I want to show you something though. This can be also written, or okay, let's kind of fold it a little bit, unfold it a little bit. So 24 times, you can go negative 3/4, okay, 3/4 times n, right? And also, you times negative 3/4, and it's negative 1. You can do that, right? Because like when you had x5 times x2, what do? You add it, right? So it becomes x7. Just like that, here, when we add that, what we're gonna have is negative 3/4 in place of x, the same thing, right? Negative 3/4. It's like negative 3/4, negative 3/4, right? And then you have n times, you have negative 1, right? Then, I mean, this is all. What do? Here, it's just like that. You have negative 3 over 4. And you have to add them. You have to add, right? If you add it, it's n minus 1, right? If you plus negative 1, right? That's what it is. So just like that, you could separate it like this way. So when you separate it, let's look at that. Okay, when you separate it, let's look at let's look at this one. Okay, so -1. Okay, -1 means, so if you have x -1, this is the same thing as 1 over x, right? So if you have x -4, the same thing as 1 over x4, right? So look at that. This is same thing as the whole thing has to go down. Okay, whole thing has to go down. So 1 over negative. This negative is still negative. 3 over 4. Okay, just like this had to go down, right? So if you go, just like when it's a negative, this whole thing goes down here. So this whole thing goes down here, and then you have a positive exponent. You have a positive exponent. Now, what is this? If we do that, okay, what is that? That is exactly -4 over 3. That's what it is. This is what -4 over 3. Okay, so then we have 24 times -3 over 4 to the nth power times we have -4 over 3. Now, you cannot do anything here, okay? Because it's an exponent. You cannot times it because they're different. They're different. But this is a whole number, right? Number. And you can times that. So you have 24. I'm going to put it here. Negative times -4 over 3. And then I'm going to write this one here. -3 over 4 over to the nth power. Now, if you do this, it reduces to 8. So this part is -32. And this part is just -3 over 4 to the nth power. This is also answer. So this answer is same thing as this answer. Like on a test, like an SAT test. You know, they might give you an answer like that. And then say A, B, C, D. Which one is the correct answer? Circle all the things. Okay? I mean, coming up with this is easy. But if they also have this one, this is also an answer. Got that? Once again, you cannot multiply this way because it's part of n. We don't know what n is, so you cannot multiply this way. Okay, so that was a little bit complicated. Okay, so let's do one more question. One more question. These are all the example questions, okay, that you probably have to do later. Okay, so in here, I want you to write both recursive and explicit formula. Okay, for the geometric sequence, that goes like this: 4, 2, 1, ... Okay, so let us do. Let's find the ratio first. The ratio, step 1. Ratio is 2 over 4. 2 over 4. So ratio is 1.5. I'm just gonna write that with blue color. Okay, 1.5 is the ratio. Okay, let us do the recursive first. So we will do the recursive. What was the formula for recursive? I always want you to write it an. Always in terms of the one before, recursive, right? This is one before an. And u times r. Okay? So I want you to always write down the formula. So let's plug in. An is half. Half is a ratio times a times n minus 1. So that is a recursive. Okay, this is the recursive. Now let us do explicit. Write it this way, and then write down the formula. It's an times, what is it? It is in terms of the first one, right? In terms of the first one, a1 or just a is fine, times r, right? And then the exponent was n minus 1. This was the formula. So let us go ahead and find it, okay? An, what is the first term? First term is here, 4. You write 4, okay? And what is the ratio? It's 1/2. 1/2, which is n, and then n minus 1. That's correct answer, but we can go further, okay? So you should do further. Okay, so let's do just like what I just did before. This is same thing as 4 times, I'm just gonna write this. I am going to separate that. So this is half, this is half, and n here, and minus 1 here. Now let's look at this one, okay? This is x minus 1. What did I say? It was, well, let me just write it, x negative 4. Okay, that's easy. Just like that, the whole thing came here and became positive. So I'm gonna put a whole thing down here, okay? Down here, okay? And then now this is positive exponent. So 1 over 1 divided this is 2. This is 2. This times goes up here, that comes down here. This is 2. So this whole thing becomes 2, right? So then we can times 4 times 2 is 8, right? And then we have half to the nth power. Okay, so the an is also this. Oh, 1 is not showing, but here's a 1. Okay, I mean like this, 1 over 2. So this and this is all correct, and I want you to write both way. Okay, now I'm gonna teach you one last thing here. One last thing. Now, when we do, we can also find out the explicit. When I say an is, what did I say? The first one, right? The first one times r. Let me say, r, and then we wrote n. Wait, let me do it again because I always use the here. Explicit is a1 is in terms of the first one. Maybe I should use this color. What should I use? Okay, I will use this color. Okay, a1, and then the ratio. Okay, and then ratio is n minus 1. Remember that? That's the one we learned today. The first thing. Oopsie, like that. Okay, good. All right. Now, sometimes it doesn't have to be 1. For example, the first one is not given. The question gives you A3 is 7. And then A5 is 28. Right? And they want you to find this. They want you to find this. But how do I find it? Because I don't have A1. It's okay. It's okay. So what I want to tell you is instead of 1, well, this was 1. So let me write 1 here. This is 1. Because we started with 1, we minus 1, okay? But we start if some number that is some term that is not the first term. Let's say we start with a term number 3, the third term. In this case, we're gonna call that just k, okay? K just means whatever it starts with, okay? Then you have to minus k, n minus k. Because you're not minusing from, you're actually minusing the n, you're minusing the first term. Whether this is term number 6 or 9, doesn't matter. Okay, it could be 2, it could be 12. It's just not the first one. So A3, okay? So K refers to the whichever is given the first one. Okay, instead of 1. So let's do that. That would be an is let me see. An is the first term, which is this one, right? A3 times r, and I don't know what that n is, but n minus k is 3 in this case, 3. Okay, so let's find out what A5 is. A5, let's put, what we already know A5 is 28. It's already 28, A5. Okay, so this is gonna be A5. We're gonna write A5. Okay, so remember this was n. This was n, right? This was n. So it's gonna be n here, 5 here. Does that make sense? So it goes like this. A5, which is 28, 28 equals A3, which is what? 7. What is R? Okay, we don't know what R is, but times R. Okay, N minus K. N was this N here. Okay, in this case, we were given 5. So N is 5, so we put 5 minus K. K is the first one that starts, although it's not the first term here, right? This is K. So I minus 3. So 5 minus 3 is 2. Okay, now you divide by 7. Okay, in this case, you get 2 answers. Okay, R square is 4. R square is 4. So then R is plus minus 2. So the answer will be, you have 2 answers. AN equals, so we are going to still use this. Okay, we're going to still use this. 7, which is the first one, 7, okay, times 2, because we got R is 2. Okay, the first one, I'm just going to use the positive one. Okay, that's going to be 2, and then N minus 3. Remember, this third term. Third term was 7. Okay, this is 1. The other one is AN equals 7 times negative 2, N minus 3. So that's the answer. So these two are the answer. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, let's do one more. In this case, you have A3 equals R. A3 equals 8. And then R is negative 2. So we're going to use that, okay? So we're looking for AN. Okay, AN equals AK. The first one given is this one, right? So 8. Okay, and then R is negative 2. So you're given negative 2. And then N minus. And then since K is the third term, minus 3. Okay. Let's do this. Then if we solve this, AN equals 8. And then I'm going to separate this once again. Okay. Negative 2. I mean, that's not wrong, but I'm going to do it. I want you to do both way. Okay. So that's N and negative 3. Okay, let's look at this. Once again, if I do, if you have x negative 4 to the negative 4th power, the same thing as x 1 over x to the 4th power. The whole thing comes down, right? So this whole thing is going to come down like this, 1 and 2 to the 3rd power. Okay, well, it's actually negative, so it's negative. Okay, this negative it attaches the number. Okay, this has nothing to do with negative exponents. Okay, so this is actually 1 over negative 8. This whole thing right here is 1 over, so I'm going to put that. Okay, that is negative 1 over 8. Right? So let's put it all together. 8 times, I'm going to put this right here. That, and then negative 2 to the nth power. They cancel. You have just negative here. And then negative 2 to the nth power. So that's the answer. That's the answer. Got it? Okay, let's do one more question. Okay, one more question. In this case, A term is 3 and R is half. Okay, so let's do that again. We're going to put in here. So we're going to use that. AN, okay, because this is what's given, is 3. Okay, and half. N minus K is N minus K. What is K? The term, 8. Okay, so in this case, well, that could be the answer, but I'm going to unfold it. So 3, and then half times, half, and then this will be the nth power, negative 8. So this one, once again, like I always use this, just like you brought the whole thing down, you're going to bring the whole thing down, 8. Okay, so this one, let's see, when I did that, that is 256. This is same thing as 1 over 256. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. If I put the whole thing down, yeah, 1 divided by 1.5 is actually, this is going to go, yeah, if I do that, it's going to be 2 to 8. Because half went down, you divide 1 by half, it'll be 2. 2 to the 8th. So this is 256. Okay, so this whole thing is 256. So then you have 3 times 256 and half to the nth power. And if you do this, it's going to be 768 and then half to the nth power. That will be the answer. Okay? That will be the answer.